ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवतसेवया भगवते उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। मूकं करोति वाचालां पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधव श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वर। Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 11, Chapter 5, verse number 16. Ye kaivalyam asamprapta ये चतितश्च मुदातं त्रैवर्गिक हि आकाशनिक आत्मानं कथयन्ति ते। They, those who kaivalyam, knowledge of the absolute truth, asamprapta, have not achieved. They who cha also atta have transcended, cha also mudatam, gross foolishness, trivargikaha, dedicated to the three goals of pious life, namely dharma, religiosity, artha, economic development, and karma, kama, sense gratification. He indeed, akashanikaha, not having even a moment to reflect, atmanam, their own selves, gatayanti, murder, they. Translation purport given by disciples of Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Those who have not achieved knowledge of the absolute truth, yet who will still beyond the darkness of complete ignorance, generally follow the threefold path of pious material life, namely religiosity, economic development, and sense gratification, not having time to reflect on any higher purpose. They become the killers of their own soul. Purport: those who are completely in the darkness of ignorance and thus bereft even of material pious life commit innumerable sinful activities and suffer greatly due to such intense suffering. Such persons sometimes seek the shelter of the devotees of the Lord, and being blessed by such transcendental association, are sometimes elevated to the highest perfectional stage of Krishna consciousness. Those who are not completely sinful experience some mitigation of the miseries of material life and thus develop a false sense of well-being within the material world. Because those who are materially pious generally obtain worldly prosperity, bodily beauty, and pleasant family situation, they become falsely proud of their position and are not inclined to associate with or accept instructions from the devotees of the Lord. Unfortunately, all material activities, whether pious or impious, are inevitably contaminated by sinful activity. Those who are proud of their pity and do not like to hear about Krishna sooner or later fall down from their artificial position. Every living entity is an eternal servant of Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, until we surrender to Krishna, our position is actually always impious. The word Akashanika, not having even a moment to reflect, is significant in this verse. Materialistic persons cannot spare a single moment for their eternal self-interest. This is a symptom of misfortune. Such persons are considered to be killing their own souls because by their obstinacy they are preparing a dark future for themselves from which they will not escape for a very long time. A sick man receiving medical treatment may be encouraged by the preliminary results of the doctor's care, but if the patient becomes falsely proud of the preliminary progress in his treatment and prematurely gives up the doctor's orders, thinking himself already cured, there will undoubtedly be a relapse. The word ye kaivalyam asampraptaha in this verse clearly indicate that the material pity is a long way from the perfect knowledge of the absolute truth. If one gives up his spiritual progress before achieving the lotus feet of Krishna, he will undoubtedly fall back down the most unpleasant material situation, even if he has achieved impersonal realization of the Brahman effulgence, as stated in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Aruhya Kruchrena Param Padam Tataha Patanti Adaha. So, in this verse, the Narada's teachings to Vasudeva is indeed a perfect knowledge and very useful to the human beings, especially in Kali Yuga, those who are far, far away from the spirituality. So here Narada Muni is warning us and giving awareness to the persons who doesn't know about Kaivalyam, the knowledge of the absolute truth, and they doesn't even know what is absolute truth and who is Supreme Personality of Godhead, who are all these devatas, why we should worship these devatas, what is the position of the devatas, and what is why to that extent. In fact, we doesn't know even who am I. So no matter how much ever we slog in this material world for our dear ones, ultimately the persons a family man or a head of the family or a head of the society who works so much for the people or for the family members, they themselves drive off him one fine day. Even though the position belongs to him, he will be driven off in certain circumstances. So instead of slogging and struggling hard for this existence in this material world, a person should awake himself and to be very alert when the opportunity comes. Not opportunity comes, we should go and get the opportunity where it is available. It's not that let it comes, let the devotees comes, let the sadhus comes, then I will take up this very seriously. It is that's not the right concept. We should go and seek and search of particular authorized sadhus or the unalloyed devotees. So then we'll come to know that about the self-realization, about our sambandha, and how to sustain that sambandha, keeping that relationship. They will guide us and they will take us to the ultimate position where there is always anandamayo bhashyat, always happy. So there is not even a pinch of sorrow or abominable conditions in that place. And most of the people doesn't know that there is another world which is called the spiritual world, or Vaikunta, or no kunta, or no sorrows. So that is a state of a materialistic persons, and they go on spending their time for keeping sense gratification as the most desirable, meritorious, and the ultimate aim of their life. Ultimate aim of their life. So in this, they are completely in the darkness of ignorance. Generally, these people follow the threefold path called Dharma, Artha, Kama. So in this threefold path, dharma, so they do some work and they do some activities, claiming that they are very good spiritualists, they are very good, very nice devotees, they are very devoted, their life is very devoted, but ultimately they go for economic development. Ultimately they go to earn something, gain something, and to establish a very greatest position in the society and the family, in the midst of the relatives and friends. And after that, after earning and after gaining so much, another, it leads to another ultimate aim is what is called as karma. The entire world is after wine and women. Srila Prabhupada says in his most of his lectures. First time when I read this and heard this, really, why Srila Prabhupada is saying like that? Then afterwards, I read so many books of Srila Prabhupada and heard so many lectures from the disciples of Prabhupada and the senior devotees. Then I came to know that is the real truth. We are all after the lusty activities. So we are so much submerged in the ocean called lust, where nobody can drag us from this lusty ocean. It is possible for only the Vaishnavas who know how much is suffering in that ocean of lust. So it is the what can I say? The compassion of the Vaishnavas. They are the only persons who throw the rope so that they will pull us from that lusty river, from that Kama Samudra to the Prema Samudra. So this we have to understand. And then after enlightening us, spending their most valuable time to make us to transform us, to bring the transformation in our heart, they struggle hard and they risk their life like anything. Because the materialistic pious generally obtain worldly prosperity, beauty, education. Well, that is, education means not the Atmagnan, but Dehagnan, Deha Seva. They do Deha Seva, and a pleasant family situation. They become falsely proud that his position or her position is very, very high, and nobody can climb this position. Nobody can, they can come to this position. Only I can do it. So it is all after a fame, puja pratishta, because for that, so inevitably contaminated by sinful activity. Ultimately, there is to the point called sin. So those who are proud of their pity and do not like to hear us. So here in the purport it is clearly explained that until or otherwise you hear Krishna Katha or Shravanam Kirtanam from the lotus mouth of the pure devotees, you will not be able to reach the kingdom of Godhead. Therefore, until we surrender to Krishna, our position is actually always impious. So one cannot surrender immediately. It is a very long process. But if you are in the midst of the devotees, or if you are in the association of the devotees, then you can see the drastic changes, and you can see a lot of transformation in your heart, lot of enlightenment in your consciousness, and your consciousness will get cleansed by hearing Krishna Katha from the devotees who have dedicated their lives for Krishna. See these devotees, the pure devotees, their mind, heart, their consciousness, their full life is always after how to develop this movement, how to bring the souls who are so much deeply rooted with karma and fame and loba. So these people will, there is a slogan called Dukki Paradukki. See, they always, they don't have, Vaishnavas doesn't have any sort of a dukkha or sorrow, but they take this, the miseries of other people and bring them to the track of devotion. For that, they give their heart and soul for them. Hare Krishna.